Hey y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. We're just gonna try and get like a 10-minute read in. We'll see. My kiddo's still asleep. I'm watching the movie The Intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. I really like this movie. It's so unproblematic. It's so sweet. Alright. I like his character. Anyway, good morning. Well, you might not be seeing this in the morning, but I am here in the morning. Let's just pick up on the energy and see what's up. Alright. Okay. Death and rebirth and the Eight of Swords. Ooh, okay, this is juicy. Eight of Sword energy is overthinking, mental enslavement, right? Allowing an internal monologue or narrative to control your thinking. We have the World, the Six of Pentacles, the Devil, the Ace of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, Two of Wands, and Temperance. This is interesting. So the Death and Rebirth energy is the first energy out for this. What are you trying to do? Where are you? God, that's a lot of cards. It's gonna take a lot more than King of Cups, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. Heavy feminine energy. Like healthy feminine. Yeah, you have 3 queens here. That's a lot of queens. So feminine energy is the dark energy. That doesn't mean it's negative. It means that it is expansive. It's like a void, right? Darkness, the womb, the seeds, the soil. There's a darkness before a big growth, right? Before this big process of death and rebirth, right? So Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and Queen of Swords. We just don't have the Queen of Cups. So I feel like you're putting your emotions on the back burner to ensure a more logical, analytical, physical implementation, which is an interesting word, implementation, or implementation, carrying out of something. So you're not working from a space of emotion. You're working from a space of practicality. We have the King and Queen of Pentacles here. So Pentacles isn't just money. I say this, I make this very clear. It's not just money. It's about all physical abundance. So your ideas are part of the Pentacle energy. Your surroundings, your environment, your the things that you're doing, like, do you work out, what are you doing to feed your body, all of that is in the physical energy, the Pentacle energy. Let's go ahead and pull the more negative, they're not really negative, but the darker aspects here, or the things that could be causing some sort of conflict, overthinking, or allowing old narratives to resurface. This is that Devil energy, along with this Four of Pentacle energy being this lack mentality. So getting into a lack mentality or a victimhood mentality, or getting in your own way within this narrative, that's the Devil energy that we need to look out for. So when you how do I say this? When you recognize, or like, I want to use the word witness. So like my brain is like when I witness my brain doing something that like I don't, like bringing up thoughts or things like that, I've gotten to a point in my life, I don't allow that anymore. If and when it surfaces, I immediately, I don't know how to explain this, but I immediately confront it, right? And I don't allow it to fester. I don't allow it to take over. I don't allow myself to get back into this Eight of Swords energy. So how do we do that? We focus on what we can do. Anytime that your brain is going more and more, or circulating through negativity or lack or victimhood or anything that's bringing you like anxiety or any of the shadow aspects, quite frankly, we have to put it into action. So anytime your mind is doing things that you don't want it to do, or bringing up things, or God, this is hard to explain. We have to stop, like, first recognize it, first recognize what's happening, and then allow yourself to go through this like little process of like, why is this coming up for me, and then bring yourself back to your reality of like, this is not something I'm dealing with right now, I don't need to be worried about this, things like that. So constantly reframing to stay out of this energy, because that energy is, King and Queen of Pentacles is total domination, not domination in like a negative sense, but it's a what's a better word than domination? I don't know. Finding balance in the masculine and feminine aspects within this physical realm is like really important to the journey. And doing so through your mental and spiritual avenues, right? Being able to control your mind, being able to keep your mind on the things that we do have the Ace of Swords here. So again, that mental clarity, this is the Fibonacci sequence, allowing your brain to only cycle through the things that are helpful, right? Of course, I'm not saying like there's something wrong with you if shit doesn't come back, right? It's about balance, finding this temperance, but keeping yourself centered with this World card, keeping yourself centered in the reality that you are creating, cultivating, the reciprocity that you're calling in from the universe, right? The universe will always provide for you whatever it is you believe, whatever it is you call that. The energy will always provide if you are doing right by yourself and by everyone else to the best of your ability, right? We have the King of Cups here, not the Queen of Cups, but the King of Cups. So emotional stability, unbotheredness, unfuckwithable energy, right? Not allowing anyone to, when people are able to irk you or control your reaction through emotional manipulation or through emotional means at all, right? Like, I'm a victim of, well, I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor of, see, that right there was a pivot. We don't use language like that to keep ourselves stuck. We've overcome it, so we reframe it, right, in the moment. And it's a constant process, okay? But I'm someone that has been severely abused to the point of reactive abuse by many people. Probably more than a lot of people. But I am kind and empathetic and generous, and it took me a really long time to recognize that I am different than a lot of people, and a lot of people like to take advantage of people like me. And so anyway, I got pushed to a space of reactive abuse many times that made my emotions, like my anger, and then it got to a point where I was the one put into incarceration, whether it was in jail or mental institutions, because of my reaction to the abuse. Reactive abuse is when you gaslight and you abuse people to a point in which they finally fight back, and then that fight back is what the abuser uses to create this narrative of like, see, you're crazy, or you're violent, or you're this, right? So my mother did that to me, my sister, my husband, friends, a lot of people have pushed me to the point of reactive abuse. And that is why I'm saying about the emotional manipulation. When you allow people to emotionally manipulate you, or allow people to get that reaction out of you, that's this devil energy. When you allow people to put you in this space of lack or victimhood, instead of being completely unbothered, it gives people power over you. So part of what we do on this channel is we reclaim our agency, right? And by doing that, we go through these things, we find our balance, and we find the things that we want. So Two of Wands and Temperance are both this duality energy of finding our balance, within the light and dark, within the physical realm and spirituality, allowing ourselves to follow our own path, right? The last card we have here is the Page of Cups. So when you're feeling this Page of Cup energy is, two rungs before the King of Cups. So Page of Cups is someone who hasn't quite mastered that emotional stability or balance, which is fine. Most people don't ever in their lives, right? Most people do work. Most folks, I don't like using the generalization of most, but it's pretty obvious and clear that most people do allow these energies to dictate their life and never really graduate into these higher energies in which they can really find their own stability and balance. So this Page of Cups energy has this little pig on it when pigs fly. So maybe you're at this point right now where you don't feel like you can have a full death and rebirth. You feel like things are always going to keep, cultivating this desperation. I'm getting desperation. Or you're just continuing the same patterns over and over. It's up to each of us to get to that point eventually where we're just like, I cannot do this anymore, right? And until you reach that point within yourself, this process is mute, right? A lot of people don't do this, but eventually life is about growth. If you are dedicated to, this reciprocal energy from the universe, right? This infinity symbol is behind them. But it's like you give what you get, and you get what you give. It's the laws of the universe. The energy that you put out into the world is going to be the energy that you get back. So if you're stuck in these cycles, you're going to stay stuck in these cycles until you choose to protect yourself, center yourself, allow yourself to, allow the parts of you to die off, not like kill yourself, not like cut your limbs off by any means, but allow yourself to shed through things that are no longer serving you, whether it's people around you, spaces, geographic location, behaviors, habits, thinking, our mentality, spiritual practices, physical practices, eating habits, whatever it is. These are all things that we all deal with, and it's just, life is about finding that balance, what that is for you, and it's different for everyone. But this is something, if you're on my channel, you're probably through this process, or you are getting into a space of more stability, more balance, more unfuckwithability, more I don't want to say apathetic, but I am getting like this nonchalant, like when you are able to feel this energy or really stand in this energy, you recognize that you and the universe will always, if you're choosing, right, life is a choose your own adventure, you have free will. So if you're choosing to stay closer to these energies, then allow yourself to be pulled away and astray through this energy, right? Then the universe is going to continue to bring in this balance for you. And it's going to get easier and easier. Yes, you will always have to deal with shit. We're alive. Shit comes up, especially within these systems. But look at this balance. You're going to be able to balance your light and dark. You're going to be able to balance your physical. You're going to be able to center yourself in your own reality. Right? We're all creators of our own reality, even within these systems. It's just about navigating and a lot of pivoting, right? So allow yourself to keep your mind clear. Ultimately, don't allow your mind to run away with negativity, or like, again, anything that brings up lack mentality or victimhood. That was a good reading. I'm going to pull one of the affirmations. I only wanted it to be 10 minutes because I thought Tiny would be awake, but he's not, so let's go ahead and get one of these. I do have these for sale in my shop. They are $3 each, or 3 for $5. I don't have them on Etsy. I guess I could do that. Okay. Go where your heart takes you. Travel the world to find the beautiful and be in love with your life. The journey is the destination. I'm going to repeat that. The journey is the destination. Every decision you make is it's like a information loop. When you make a decision, then you get the, I don't want to use consequences because consequences has a negative connotation, but every decision you make has, you know, okay, so you, it's like a I'm getting like the March Madness chart. Every decision that you make leads to another decision, which leads to another choice, you know, until you're like able to center yourself. Okay? I don't know. I don't know why I felt called to. Okay. Always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder and remember the now. So stay present as much as you can. Again, don't allow your mind to go off with worry or fear or lack, or back to the past when things happen to you. It is what it is. You are through it. It's up to you if you allow yourself to keep going through that, right? In regards to the people that pushed me to reactive abuse, I have set very firm boundaries. They know I'm not the same person that I was at one point. A lot of them I don't even talk to. A lot of them, my boundary was no contact. But Niall's dad, for instance, we have to stay in communication to a certain degree, and I assert myself every time he tries to have power over me again. I assert myself. I place a boundary immediately. It's not a problem for me at this point, so protect yourself in those ways. Collect beautiful moments. No journey is too great if you find what you seek, and let life surprise you. Happiness depends on ourselves. Shine like the whole universe is yours, and come what may. Have a good one, y'all.